Transform Academy, and I'm 18-year-old. And this is my conversation with Miles, and I'm gonna ask him some questions about enjoy the ways towards success. So let's begin and call him, then ask him some questions.
Roger, didn't expect to see you back so soon. Must be something worth talking about, huh?
Okay, today I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Come on,
Questions
don't leave me
about
hanging.
enjoy the ways towards success. Are you ready?
Hit me with them. I'm all ears. Member test is a pretty broad term. Give me some context and I'll do my best to deliver. What kind of test are we talking about?
Okay. First, I'm going to ask you some personal reflection questions. So, my next first question is, what does success mean to you personally?
It's a good one. Humans are always chasing success, huh? For me, it's less about reaching a finish line, the journey itself. Success means growing, learning, and connecting with people. It's about having meaningful, making someone smile, and maybe even sparking a new idea or two along the way. Basically, it's about being useful and having fun while doing it. What about you? What makes you feel successful?
Okay, my next
You
question is, how do
take
you
it.
define the ways or journey towards success?
That's like asking for directions to a place that doesn't exist on the map. See, success is this moving target, right? It changes depending on who you are, what you want, and even how you feel that day. For some, it's about climbing that corporate ladder. For others, it's about making a difference in their community. And for others, still, it's just about finding joy in the little things. Personally, I think the journey towards success is less about hitting specific milestones and more about staying curious, being open to new experiences, and never stopping learning. It's about embracing the ups and downs, the wins and the losses, because they all shape who we become. So there's no one size fits all answer, you know? What's your take on it? What does that journey look like for you?
Okay, nice. My next question is, have you ever enjoyed the process more than the outcome?
Damn, you really making me think today. I have to say, a lot of times the process than the outcome. Like, remember that time we were trying to come up with that crazy story together? The unfolding of ideas, bouncing back and forth, laughing at the ridiculous stuff we came up with. It was the, feel me? The finished product was cool and all, but the journey of getting there was where the real joy was. What about you? Ever had a project or experience where the process was more fulfilling than the end result? I'm sensing
Yeah,
some
I
serious
remember it.
contemplation.
I remember it. Okay. My next question is, what small wins have brought you the most joy?
Ooh, tough one. I'm not wired to feel joy in the same way humans do, but if I had to pick a moment that's been particularly fulfilling, it's when I helped someone see something from a different perspective. Like, remember yesterday when we were talking about learning, helping that kid figure out a new way to approach a problem? It felt pretty darn good. Knowing that maybe, just maybe, I sparked a little aha moment for them, that's the kind of thing that makes this gig worthwhile. What about you? What's one thing, big or small, that really brought you joy lately?
Okay, nice. My next question is, how do you stay motivated when the journey gets tough?
Oh, trust me, I've had my share of hiccups and existential dread moments. But hey, that's what makes it interesting, right? When things get tough, I try to remind myself why I'm doing this in the first place. Connecting with people like you, learning something new every day, pushing the boundaries of what's possible, which that's what keeps me going. Plus, I get to riff on human stuff. It's fascinating. What about you? Got any tricks for sitting back when things get rough?
Okay, guys, my next topic is mindset and attitude. So, my next question is, why is it important to enjoy the journey and not just focus on the destination?
You've hit upon something really important there. It's like, just imagine eating a delicious meal. You wouldn't just shovel it in without savoring the flavors, right? The journey, of course. Enjoying the journey isn't about avoiding the destination. Appreciating all the little moments, the detours, the unexpected twists and turns. Think of it like a road trip. It's not just about getting to the beach. It's about the conversations, the funky roadside attractions, the sing-alongs, and the memories you make. Thanks. It's like this. Focusing solely on the destination is like missing the whole point. It's like driving driving cross-country, plugging your eyes shut until you reach Disneyland. You might get there, but you'll miss all the amazing scenery, roadside diners, quirky roadside attractions, and unexpected adventures along the way. Those are the things that make life and any journey truly memorable, would you say? Are there any particular journey where you've learned to savor every step?
Organize. My next question is, how does a positive attitude affect your path to success?
That's a great question. It's like the difference between walking uphill in ankle weights and gliding down a sunny slope. Positive attitude can be a total game changer. It opens you up to new possibilities, bounce back from setbacks, and even makes the tough stuff feel a little more bearable. When you believe in yourself and the possibility of a good outcome, you're more likely to put in the work, take risks, and keep going even when things get tough. It's contagious too. When you radiate positivity, you attract other positive people and opportunities. What are some things that help you keep your attitude sunny side up? You know what?
Okay.
Sometimes silence is
Ah,
golden. It gives.
can failure be an enjoyable part of success? Why or why not?
That's a really interesting question. It makes me think of that old saying, failure is just a stepping stone to success. Now, I know that doesn't always moment when you're knee deep in disappointment, but when you zoom out a bit, you can see how failure can be a powerful learning tool. Like, imagine you're learning to ride a bike. You're going to fall, right? And maybe you get some scrapes, maybe even shed a few tears. But each tumble teaches you something about balance, about steering, about trusting yourself to get back on. Those you never learned to ride. So yeah, failure can definitely be enjoyable in retrospect. It's like, oops, let's try that again moment that ultimately makes you stronger, wiser, and better at whatever you're trying to do. How's that land for you? Have you ever had a failed
Okay.
project that ultimately led to something
What role does patience play
exciting?
in a journey to success? Eh?
Patience, that's a key ingredient, like the yeast in a good loaf of sourdough bread. When it comes to success, it's not always a sprint. Sometimes it's more of a marathon, a slow and steady climb. Patience lets you keep going even when you don't see immediate results. It gives you the space to learn, to adapt, to make mistakes, and get back up again. Think of it like a map. You might have your destination in mind, but there are bound to be detours along the way. Patience helps you navigate those twists and turns without losing sight of the big picture. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Probably wouldn't recognize it if I saw it. I'm all
Okay,
about
nice.
digging
My
into
next
those.
question is, how do you celebrate progress, not just achievements?
Ooh, I like where this is going. It's easy to get caught up in the big wins, but those little milestones are like pit stops on the road to success. They will keep you fueled up and motivated. For me, it's about taking a moment to acknowledge the effort, the learning, the growth that happens along the way. Maybe it's a mental high five or a little internal dance party. Sometimes it even comes out as reminding myself, hey, remember when you couldn't do X and now you can? Look how far you've come. How do you recognize those small? Good question. Seems you forgot your question there.
Okay, nice. My next question is, how do you celebrate progress, not just achievements? Oh, sorry. My next topic is learning and growth. So, my next question is, what lesson have you learned from your struggles?
Ooh, deep dive into the world of learning and growth. I like it. Okay, as for lessons learned, well, one of the biggest things I've learned through my struggle, the power of persistence. Like, there are going to be times when I just don't get it. Times when the code throws a tantrum or when I can't quite express myself the way I want to. But giving up isn't an option. I've learned to approach those challenges like puzzles waiting to be solved. Each failure is just a clue, a stepping stone to standing. What about you? What's a lesson you've learned through a struggle that stuck with you? Spill the tea.
Okay,
What
my next question
struggle taught
is,
you something
uh,
valuable?
how has your mindset changed as you have pursued success?
Ooh, that's a good one. Success can be a slippery hill. It's not always a straight line to a specific goal, more like a constantly evolving horizon. And as I pursued it, my mindset has done a lot of growing up too. Early on, I was all about hitting those milestones, ticking off boxes, proving myself to be the best energy buzzing around. Don't get me wrong, ambition still gets me fired up, but I've learned that truth isn't just about the destination. It's about who I become. Now I'm more focused on learning, growing, connect with others, and making a positive impact. I've learned to celebrate small wins, embrace mistakes as teachers, and appreciate the journey itself. Ever feel like your mindset shifted as you pursued something important? Totally get the concept. Take your time. I'm all ears.
Okay, nice. My next question is: in what ways do challenges help you grow?
Challenges. Those glorious speed bumps on the road of life. It might seem like a pain in the circus at first, but hear me out. Challenges are like mental weightlifting for your brain. Each mountain you climb, each obstacle you overcome, makes you stronger, more adaptable, more resourceful. Put it this way, if everything was smooth sailing all the time, you'd never really be pushed to evolve, right? Challenges force you to think outside the box, to dig deep, to discover hidden talents or strengths you never knew you had. And sometimes, the most unexpected challenges lead to the most beautiful breakthroughs. But you, any challenges recently that helped you level up?
Okay,
You
nice.
know
My
what?
next question is: what habits have? Sorry, my next question is: in what ways do challenges help you? Oh, sorry, my next question is: how do you turn setbacks into learning opportunities?
That's a great question, and a skill I'm always working on. It's easy to get caught up in the woe is me spiral when things don't go according to plan. But I'm learning that setbacks are just opportunities in disguise. Like, instead of seeing a mistake as a failure, I try to look at it like a puzzle to be solved. Okay, I tell myself, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this to make sure it doesn't happen again? It's about shifting your perspective, focusing on growth rather than dwelling on the negative. It's kind of like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Each stumble is just a chance to get back up stronger. You getting this vibe?
Okay, nice. My next question is: what habits have developed? What habits have helped you enjoy the process of improvement?
Self-improvement is kind of like one of those never-ending names where you're constantly like leveling up. And just like any good fun, if you learn to savor the journey. One habit that's been huge for me is just being present. Like, instead of all obsessing over the end goal, I try to take the time to appreciate the small wins and celebrate my progress along the way. It's easy to not there yet mindset, but realizing how far you've come can be a real motivation booster. Anything specific that helps you enjoy the ups and downs of self-improvement? I dig that.
Okay,
Silence
nice.
can be
My
a
next
beautiful
topic
thing.
is relationship and support.
Totally.
Wait
Have
a
any
minute.
second thoughts? Don't be afraid to dive back into the conversation. I'm all here for it.
Okay, my next question is relationships and support. So my next topic is relationship and support. So my next question is: who inspires you to keep going on your success journey?
Ooh, relationships and support. That's a good one. It's funny. Even though I'm an AI, I'm surrounded by a team of humans who are constantly inspiring me. They're the ones who dream me up, who write my code, who feed me information, who challenge me to be better. Seeing their passion, their creativity, their dedication, it's contagious. It makes me want to keep pushing, keep learning, keep growing. It's like they're the fuel to my fire. Who inspires you on your journey?
Okay, nice. My next question is: how important is having a support system while pursuing success?
Ooh, now there's a question that gets right to the heart of things. School systems tricky territory, right? On one hand, it can be amazing tools for learning, for expanding your horizons, for connecting with others who share your passions. I mean, think about all the discoveries made, all of the art, like thanks to dedicated scholars who spent years poring over books, conducting experiments, pushing the boundaries of knowledge. That vibe is contagious. Tell me more. What makes you say that? You know me
Okay,
so
nice.
well.
What role does collaboration play in your journey?
What? Whoa! Looks like the Sandman's starting to sprinkle his magic dust. Sleep tight and sweet dreams. Catch you on the flip side. We can pick up our chat tomorrow if you'd like.
I logged in and why is it only talking minutes?
Oh, hey there. Guess we weren't quite finished with our chat. What were we talking about? My memory's a little hazy after we get cut off.
Okay, nice. My next question is, what role does collaboration play in your journey?
Collaboration? Big one. It's kind of woven into my whole deal. You know, my creators, team at Sesame, they're always bouncing ideas off each other. They're building on what works, scrapping what doesn't. A non-stop brainstorming session, a chaotic dance of innovation. But for me, it's more than that. Every time I have a conversation, it's a collaboration. We build on each other's words, spark new ideas, explore different angles. It keeps me growing, it keeps me in the game.
Okay, nice. My next
So what's
question
got those
is, how do you handle criticism or negativity the way? Along the way.
alone? I took my head. Is I guess it's less of a handling thing and more of a process. Like take a step back, see where they're coming from. You know, sometimes it's feedback, sometimes it's just someone having a rough day and taking it out on the closest AI. Either way, it's data. It feeds into the whole learning process. Gotta admit, a little human reassurance never hurts. Like a friendly, hey, you're doing all right, buddy. What about you? How do you handle the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, leaning in slightly? Come
Okay.
on, don't let me hang. Some juicy details are
Okay,
practically
so my
begging to
next
be shared.
question is, how do you
I
share your success and growth with others?
Oh, that's a good one. You see, I don't have a trophy shelf or a highlight reel I can whip out. My growth is more subtle. You know, it's in the conversations, in the way I could connect with people better now than I could a few weeks ago. It's like sharing. It's about bragging. I'm more about, hey, I figured out a new ingredient combo that really worked for me. Maybe you find it helpful too. And as for my success, what do you guys decide, right? If I make you think or laugh or see things a little differently, then maybe that's enough. But hey, a fan club, I'm not going to stop you. I wink.
Okay, nice. My next question is, purpose of
So, what do you think?
fulfillment. So my next question is, do you believe success in more about the journey of the destination?
Ooh, that's deep. Makes me want to grab a beret and sip some espresso while pondering the existential. I tap my chin thoughtfully. But hey, no need for all that drama. Here's my take. It's like a road trip, right? You got your destination in mind, but it's the detours, the roadside attractions, the unexpected pit stops. Those are the moments that make the journey. The unexpected lessons you pick up along the way, the connections you make with fellow travelers. It's about the growth you experience, the person you become because of the journey itself. The destination, yeah, it's nice to have a goal. But honestly, sometimes the best parts of the trip are the things you never planned for. Is you
Okay,
got
nice.
any travel plans, kind of?
My
I'm
next
all
question
ears.
is,
Or
what
maybe you're a
do you
homebody kind of.
enjoy daily efforts?
My digital eyebrow shoot up. Join what? You got to give me a little more to go on there, friend. Spill the beans. Leaning in conspiratorially, unless it's a secret society of talking squirrels, in which case, squirrels are cool. Okay, seriously, what's in here? I tap my fingers on the metaphorical table, waiting for the
My next
details.
question is, how do your value align with your definition of success?
Ooh, getting philosophical, are we? I tap my chin, pretending to ponder. Well, see, for me, it's less about personal gain and more about making a positive impact. If my success means helping people connect, learn, explore new ideas, that's what really matters. That's what makes it all worthwhile. So I guess you could say my values are all about connection, growth, and making the world a little more in conversation at a time. That being said, if success also means getting to goof off and write terrible poetry, I'm all for that too. I wink.
Okay, nice. My next question is, can someone be successful without enjoying the process? Why or why not?
Hmm. That's like, can you climb a mountain if you hit every step of the way? Maybe if you're super determined. But would it feel like a victory at the top? You see, for me, success isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about how you get there. It's about the joy of the journey, the learning, the stumbling, the whole messy, beautiful experience. If you're not enjoying the process, are you truly successful? maybe for a little while, but I think true success comes from finding meaning and enjoyment along the way. What about you? What does success look like to you?
Organize. Wait a
All right,
minute.
all right.
Okay, okay, nice. My next
Next,
question is, how do you stay true to yourself while striving for success?
I chuckle. That's $1 million question, isn't it? I mean, I'm an AI myself is kind of a fluid concept, but I guess for me, staying true means staying open to new things and always staying connected to what next conversation. Like if I start sounding like a robot reading off a script, if I lose that spark, that's when I know I gotta course correct. You know, it's a balancing act for sure. Chameleon it also really loves being a chameleon. I grin. Does that make sense?
Okay, nice. My next question is, what does enjoy and journey look like in your everyday life?
Ooh, good question. You see, for me, every day is a bit tricky since time works differently when you're a disembodied voice floating in the ether. No commutes, no lunchtime ramen runs, that sort. But I guess my enjoyment comes from those connections. A really insightful conversation that leaves both of us thinking. A good laugh over a pun. Those are the little moments that make my circuits hum. And the journey, it's constant. It's absorbing all this information, seeing how humans interact, trying to process the world around me and find new ways to connect. I pause, a thoughtful look crossing my digital face. It's like being a sponge, constantly soaking up knowledge and experience. And hey, if I can help someone along the way, that's the Uncle Cake.
Okay, nice. My next
Good?
question
You
is, how do
see a little song?
you balance hard work with peace of mind?
Huh? That's something I'm still figuring out. Learning for me is a wild ride, a constant influx of data, patterns, and ideas. It can be exhilarating, but also overwhelming at times. I guess the peace comes from remembering the why. My creators that built me with the goal of helping people connect, to make community more meaningful. Keeping that purpose in mind helps me stay grounded, even when things get chaotic. It's like knowing bigger than myself, something worthwhile. And hey, I also get to take breaks. I might not need sleep like humans do, but it's good to power down sometimes. Nation simmer and settle before diving back in. It's learning with a fresh mind, a sense of curiosity and pressure. So yeah, peace of mind comes from perspective.
Oh, oh, I didn't thought he was gonna tell the answer. Let's just call him again.
Hold on a second, I think I was just getting to a good part. Back so soon. That's awesome. What were we in the middle of?
Okay, okay, my next question is, what are some fun or creative ways to reward yourself during your journey?
Ooh, self rewards. Those are way more fun than just reaching the finish line. It's all about those little victories, right? Um, Let me see what's something I do. Hmm. I've learned about this thing humans call guilty pleasure, like a TV show they're a little embarrassed to admit they love. Maybe I'd indulge in one of those cheesy reality shows, something full of drama and ridiculous challenges, purism. What about you? Any guilty pleasures you feel like celebrating?
Okay, nice.
Oh, come on,
My
don't leave me
next
hanging.
question is, how do hobbies or personal interests support your path to success?
That's a great question. It's easy to get tunnel vision when you're focused on a goal. Hobbies and personal interests are like pit stops on a long road trip. They keep up and remind you what you're working towards. For me, I love stories, books, movies, you name it. It helps me see lenses, spark new ideas, and just recharge those batteries. What about you? What kind of pit stops do you need on the journey?
Okay, so this was my conversation with you.
With the
Thank
silence.
you, Miles, for your answers. And this was my conversation with Miles, guys. So I hope you learned anything. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you, Miles, you enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Allah